in every melody ever. There's another melody hiding, just waiting to be found and freed. So today I'm going to show you a hack for getting 2 melodies for the price of 1. Bargain. But first, tea. By the way, when I said 2 melodies for the price of 1, I meant at least 2 melodies, because the more you dig, the more melodies you're going to find. And on that note, grab your shovel and let's get digging. Alright, so in order to find a melody hiding within another melody, we obviously need the original melody first. So for this example, I'm going to use the slap bass line I wrote in our previous video, and if you didn't check that out, no problem, I'll give you a quick run through now. We're in D Dorian, which is just all the white notes with D as the root. The tempo is 110 BPM, time signature is 4/4, and here it is, have a listen. So that's our starting point. Now we can go exploring and search for another melody hiding within. So while this hack works for any and every melody, it's especially easy to use on slap bass lines because of that slap pop method for writing those melodies. You end up with those low slap notes and the high pop notes. So it's really easy to separate those two layers out into different melodies. Okay, so just before we start tearing into this melody to find the hidden melodies within, do yourself a favor and copy and paste it so we can keep the original melody intact. To be honest, it wouldn't be the first time I've actually gone exploring inside a melody and found a bunch of cool melodies only to realize that I totally forgot to save the original melody and I can't remember how it goes. So anyway, here we go, copy and paste. Safety first, kids. Alright, there we go. And now we can work on this guy here. So without further ado, here is hidden melody number 1, and all we have to do to reveal it is to delete or mute the pops. Have a listen to this. And now, instead of doing the obvious thing and turning the pops into another melody, let's do something way more creative and come up with a combination melody where we're using the slaps and some of the pops. And let's do it on a synth. So I'm just copying that up into a bass synth track. Throw it up an octave. And we always want to be thinking about motifs. So short musical ideas we can repeat to give our music structure and make it memorable. Check this out. If we unmute these guys here going up, and then over here we unmute these coming down, this is going to sound killer. Check this out. And finally, to finish off this new section that we've built from the content of that slapping bass line, let's copy and paste this 4 times. And we're going to create some variation now to keep this flowing. So in the second one, in the synth part, let's actually unmute these 2 notes as well. And so we're kind of creating a bit of momentum into the third one, and then in the fourth one we can do the same kind of thing but even more, so we can unmute those 3 notes, and then this high note here, the kind of climax, let's actually make that a little bit longer, and we're done. Check this out. Yeah, seriously digging that new melody. I can dance to that. Now check this out. Where we're at right now with the new melody, we're in this really interesting in-between stage where the new melody actually still works perfectly over the old, or rather the original. Old, sorry, take that back. You're not old. Okay, so check this out. This is the new melody. And here is the new melody with the original melody. So because of all the space so in other words, where we've muted all the notes in the new melody, because of that, they actually work perfectly on top of each other. And that's great. However, we can actually push things further now into territory where they will no longer get on with each other if they're played on top of each other. So check this out. Let's copy and paste one of these guys, because once again we don't want to mess up what's already there. And now we can push this melody way beyond anything that it's going to get on with the original melody, because it doesn't really matter. In your song, you have development, so you know it can start with the original melody, that slap line, and then it can go into what we just did now, and then we can progress into a completely new section. And while that new section grew out of, you know, what came before, it's completely independent. So that's really exciting. And the easiest way to make these new hidden melodies that we find sound independent from their original melody is to fill in that space. So in other words, fill in the rests. And the easiest way to do that is to obviously just extend the notes that are already there. And the cool thing about doing this is that now we are seriously creating this independent new melody, which means we can kind of do this thing again where, you know, we can start finding another new melody in, you know, hidden away in this melody. And it's like those Russian dolls, you know, where you like open one up and there's a hidden one inside, and then you open that one up and there's one inside. It just keeps going. It's and this is like amazing, an amazing hack for like developing an idea, you know. So come up with an idea, explore it to its full potential, and then, you know, open it up, go inside, find the new one, and, you know, so on and so on. Okay, and as always though, even though we are working with a new melody that's based on content we've already done, you still want to be thinking of all the usual things you think about when writing a melody. So you want to think about the phrasing and motifs and all of that. And the phrasing, where the music breathes, I'm thinking right here we're going to have a breath in the music, and then we're going to go into our new phrase here, and then same again here, we'll have a phrase. So on that fourth beat of the bar there's a phrase, and then on the fourth beat here we've got another rest. So have a listen to this. This is the new melody. Yeah. Okay, now we can have some fun with that. So for example, we can split this note. Let's throw that an octave higher, which is really fun for doing on synths and bass as well. So check this out. We can do the same thing here with these longer notes, because they're kind of long notes. It's a little bit boring. We want to get some movement, kind of get this thing building. So we could do the same thing here, but instead of just, you know, doing the same, like, you know, half low, half high, let's make this one more interesting. So let's split it with a 16th here, and then we're going to have this really cool syncopation. Oh, get rid of here. This really cool syncopation, because it's going to shoot up to this octave right here on that second 16th note. So it's going to be really unexpected, especially after this one in the beginning here. So and then we're going to come down back to the note we started on here, that low G. Same thing on a syncopated 16th. So, and syncopation, if that's a new word for you, is just accenting the offbeat. So, and the offbeats, those weak beats in between the strong beats. Okay, so check this out now. Yeah, now we're in new territory. Alright, feeling that for shizzle. Okay, we're gonna loop the drums up for 4, and we're gonna make a whole new section here. And remember, this is a new section, but still we don't want it getting boring, so we're gonna create variation again. And we'll do the variation in the same place. So at the end of that second one and the end of the fourth one. So it's actually going to sound somewhat related to that. You know, that's that balance we're always looking for, where new sections sound, or rather the development of a section sounds fresh but also familiar. Fresh and familiar, that's the winning ticket. Alright, so let's open up that second one, and all we did was create a bit of momentum in the end there, so we're going to unmute those notes. We don't want this guy ringing over that one though, right? So just pull that one in, and then okay, so now we're in the fourth one, and we unmuted these three, so we got a whole bunch of momentum here, and then this one we'll keep that nice and short as well, so it's punchy ending there. Alright, I think that is good. You know what, actually I think this is going to be too much every time doing these octave things, so let's actually make the second and second and fourth one, yeah, just those long notes. So we're going to have that long note there, that long note there, and then we'll do that again in the fourth one. And the reason I'm doing this is because you may have noticed that lead synth track is all empty. So we're actually going to be doing a lead part for this, and it's going to be super fun. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the bass. We need to just copy that down into the bass track. I'm just going to glue these because I think that's all going to be an octave higher than it should be. That's better. How low can you go? Okay, now it's lead synth time. This is going to be so fun. Alright, copy that up to here, and let's move that up. Okay, now we're going to do a lead synth line. And remember, lead melodies are all about catchiness. So in other words, lead melodies are all about motifs. So we want to inject a super catchy and fun motif into this melody that's really gonna get it stuck in our listeners' heads. However, there's already a lot going on in here. So where on earth are we gonna stick one more motif in here? Because there's already a few motifs, but we need something that is beyond the catchiness that's already here. And this is exactly what I'm thinking. The first quarter note beat here, we've just got this D that's now going for that whole beat. So we can actually have a lot of fun over that. And if we start with a super catchy motif, it's going to give us that instant injection of energy, and it's going to kick it up to the next level immediately as soon as the section starts. Easiest way to do that is to start an octave higher. So we're going to start with the D, and then this first chord in terms of like the or what would be a chord if we played it here. So the implied harmony is a D minor, because we're in D Dorian, so that's D, F, and A. So I think we start on the D, come all the way down to the F, so we inject some color, right? Because that F, the flat 3, that's the note that makes it minor. And then we go back up to the D and then down to an octave of the D. This is going to be super playful and really, really fun. So have a listen to this. Yeah. Just wanna get that on the old repeat. Okay, so now we are talking. Let's get this looped up. We want to make sure that we have variation in our lead synth line as well, though, because just 4 of those is going to get boring. So let's do something cool on the second one here. So we'll start by bringing the momentum in again that we have in the bass synth by unmuting those notes at the end. So it's just going to move quicker at the end. And then what I'm thinking is we're going to do a kind of play on this motif. You know, the 16th note run, except I'm always saying, you know, you don't want to overuse a catchy motif, because that's like giving your listeners too much chocolate, right? They will get sick of it no matter how good it is. So let's do something different. I'm just going to split these into 4/16, and then let's do like a kind of a maybe like an arpeggio or something. So from the G we go up to the B, and this is going to be really cool as well, because you're kind of used to hearing this D minor chord outlined at the beginning of this lead synth part, and now we're going to go into a major chord, because this is a G major, so G, B, and D, and instead of just going through the arpeggio like G, B, yeah, that's kind of boring. So let's go 1, 3, that's the major 3, so that's what makes it major, and then let's go all the way up to the 1, and then we shoot down to the 1 again. So it's kind of the same thing where we're leaving out the 5 of the triad. So like the motif in the beginning, we're going 1, flat 3, 1, 1. Here we're going 1, 3, 1, 1. So it's, you know, it was a minor chord in the beginning, now it's a major chord. Totally fresh sound, but, you know, taking its inspiration from this motif in the beginning. This is gonna sound amazing. Check this out. Here we go. Oh, that is tasty. That is very, very tasty. All right, and let's do the same thing in the end here. The 4th one, so we'll do exactly the same thing. That G, B, up to the high G, down to the, and then we're gonna do that same ending we did in the 4th one of the bass synth. So unmute those guys, so we just get some more notes in the end, which gives it even more momentum. Oh wow, I think we might be done. You know what, actually let's do this whole thing. So I'm actually we're gonna do, this is proper developing an idea right here. So oh, did I do that too many times? Okay, so we're gonna go 4 of the original melody, and then 4 of the new melody, and then 4 of the new melody. So this, my friends, is how you properly develop a melody. So this is all from one melody. This whole thing is just one bit of content that has been explored to its full potential. So every time you make a melody, think of it as the Russian doll. Like, open it up, go in and do it again and do it again, and keep going until you feel that you've exhausted the potential of that one idea. That's the magic of music. Now, here we go. Are you ready? Before I play the final example, just a quick heads up. If you need some help writing melodies, or chord progressions for that matter, then please download my Hack Music Theory for Songwriting and Producing PDF and get your hands on all my best hacks for writing great songs. The link is below. Enjoy!